Hello friends, welcome to CrackGate CSE, and in this series of algorithm, today we'll be discussing some previous year GATE questions and UGC-NET questions based on longest common subsequence problem. So in the previous video we have discussed the longest common subsequence problem with and without dynamic programming. So if you have not checked that particular video, check that video first and then come on to this particular questions. So before starting this video, I would like to request you all, if you have not subscribed my channel till now, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you can get an update whenever I am uploading any new video. Now let's start with the first question. So this question came in UGC-NET December 2018. Here two sequences was given x and y with 7 number of elements or 7 numbers in x and 6 numbers in y, and they was asking the length of the longest common subsequence between x and y. That means what is the length of common subsequence between x and y? So the answer is 4, but let's see how we got the answer as 4. So there is a method to solve these kind of questions using the table method, or if you can call it as a matrix method also. So in x I am having 7 elements, in y I am having 6 elements. So I will be taking a matrix of 7 plus 1 and 6 plus 1 elements. That means 8 into 7 elements. So I am taking a table with 7 plus 1 rows because I am storing x in columns, right? And for each particular value I am taking a row. So 7 elements are there, so I am taking 7 rows and 1 for the initialization. So totally I am taking 8 rows. Similarly I am storing these y values in columns. So how many columns are required? Whatever the value is there. So in y I am having 6 values and I am taking 6 1 columns because of this 0 initialization. So this is y and this is x. So I stored it first, and later I took one extra row and one extra column and put all the values as 0. Now what we have to do is we have to start from the first row. So when we start from the first row, check this symbol 0 and we have to make sure whenever this 0 is coming, so this 0 has to be compared with all the columns. This 0 is same here, so we'll be putting a diagonal arrow. So whenever the two symbols of row and column are same, we are putting a diagonal arrows. Here also it is 0, so I am putting diagonal arrow. Now there is 1, so again I have to check 1 with all these columns. So 1 is common here, so putting a diagonal arrow. 1 is common here also, so I am putting a diagonal arrow, right? Now similarly check 2, 2 is common here, a diagonal. Same 1 is common here and 1 is common here, putting a diagonal arrow. For 3 it is common here, for 0 it is common here, and for 1 it is common here. So once you put it or write down all the arrows, then you have to start putting the values, start filling the values. How you can fill the values? Start from the first box and check the value with left and top. So the left value is 0 and top value is 0. So we have to take maximum of both of the value. Here the maximum is 0 only. And we have to put an arrow from where you are taking the value. Let us suppose I am taking the value from the top. So I am putting an arrow which is directing to top. So it shows that we are taking value from the upper side, right? Similarly, I have to fill the next box. Here also I will be checking left and top. So left is 0. Top is 0. Again I am taking 0. Let's say I am taking it from upper value. Similarly for the next one I am putting 0 from taking upper value. Now we are having the diagonal symbol, diagonal arrow. So if you are having a diagonal arrow, you have to add 1 with the respective value in the diagonal box. So in this diagonal box I am having 0 and I will add 1. That means 0 plus 1 is 1. So the new value will be 1 here. Now in the next field I have to check this 1 and this 0. 1 is maximum, so I am putting 1 and this 1 has been taken from left hand side, so putting a arrow directing to left hand side. Similarly here you can see that here also I am having an arrow, so this is 0. 0 plus 1 I will be putting 1. So wherever there is an arrow, you have to add 1 with the value of the diagonal box, right? Here there is a diagonal and this is 0, so I will be adding 1 to this 0, so the value will be 1. Now check this 0 and 1, whatever is maximum you have to take that value. So 1 is maximum and we are selecting from left side. In these two values 1 is maximum and we are selecting from left side. In these two values both are same, so let's say I am selecting 1 from the upper side. It doesn't matter whether you put a upper side arrow or a left side arrow, because on the both hand side we are having the value as 1. Here you can see that I am having a diagonal arrow. Diagonal arrow means I have to add 1 to this particular value. So 1 plus 1 it will be 2, so I have to put 2 here. For the next 1 and 2, whichever is maximum, 2 is maximum, so I am taking from left hand side. Similarly we have to fill all these rows, right? It will be 1 from top, it will be 1 from top, it will be 2 because diagonal, it will be 2 from left, it will be 2 from left, it will be 2 from left, let's say. So this will be 1 and this will be 1 2, this will be 2 taking from upper side, this will be 2 taking from upper side, this is arrow, so it will be 3, and now it is 3 from left. Here it will be 1, here it will be 2, and here it will be 2, here it will be 2 as well, here it will be 3 from upper side, and it will be 3 from upper side, let's say. Now for this the value will be 1, here the value will be 2, here the value will be 2, here the value will be 3, here the value will be 3 from top, and here I have to update it as 4 because 3 plus 1 is 4. Similarly for 0, here it will be 1, here it will be 2, here it will be 2, here it will be 3, here it will be 4, and these 4, so here it will be 4 as well. Now if I have to find out the maximum length, you can see that this particular value, so the value in the last box will represent the maximum length possible. So the maximum length is 4, so that's why I got it as 4. But if you want to find out the sequence, that which particular sequence, what is the longest common subsequence, instead of length, if you find out the common subsequence, how you can find out? Just trace back. You have to start tracing, or you have to select the root from here, and whenever you are getting a diagonal symbol you have to circle that. So from starting from here, this 4 is taken from upper side, so taken here, this 4 is a diagonal, so I am circling it, and go to the diagonal place. 3 is here taken from up, again there is diagonal, so selecting this particular 3. This 3 has been selected from here, so going to 2, and 2 has been selected from here. This 2 is diagonal, so selecting this 2, and this 2 has been selected from this 1 because of this diagonal, and 1 is selected from the left hand side, and this 1 has been selected from this 0, but this is diagonal. So you can see that one common sequence is right. Write the respective value. So 1 comma 2 comma 1, because the corresponding value over this 3 is 1 and the corresponding value for this 4 is 0. Now you can see that this is one of the common subsequence which can be present in both the rows. See, 1 2 1 0, 1 2 1 0 present in this, 1 2 1 0 present in this also. So this is where you can find out the number of sequences and the length, right? Similarly, if you trace from here, if it has been selected from here, you can trace it that this is the diagonal, this is the diagonal, and from here you will go like this is the diagonal, this is the diagonal. So it will give you 1 2 0 1. So 1 2 0 1 1 2 0 1. So another sequence is 1 2 0 1. So same way you can find out whatever the sequence is possible and what is the maximum length. So the maximum length is 4 here, and this is the answer. Now go with the second question. This question came in UGC-NET December 2015, where two sequences was given and they was asking that longest common subsequence of x and y is. So they gave you some common subsequence and we have to find out which one is the largest common subsequence present in x and y. So if you check BCA is present. See, BCA is present in x, BCA is present in y also. So this is a possibility, but we have to check for all possibilities because its length is 3. Check for CAB. So CAB present in x, CAB present in y. This is also present, length is 3. BCAA. So BCA. So BCA is here, but this A is not here. So this is clearly not an answer. Now check this BCBA. So BCBA. So BCBA present in x, B, C, B, A present in Y also. So this one seems to be the right answer because the longest common subsequence is BCBA is of length 4. So this is a simple question. You can easily answer this kind of question. Now in UGC-NET December 2013, the same questions with X and Y has been asked, but instead of common sequence they asked the length. They asked what is the maximum length or what is the longest common subsequence length. So how you can find out? You can find out the same way I explained you the first question, right? So see, this is the solved answer. So if you would want to find out the same way, you can find it out. You will be getting the answer as 4, right? So I'm not explaining it to you because you already know how to solve this one. Just try to solve this one also. If you are not getting, just refer this particular solution. So this is the solution for third question, right? Now let's discuss some previous year GATE questions. So there are two GATE questions which I found useful and they will be equivalent also. So this particular question came in GATE 2014, in which they gave two strings, A as QPQRR and B as PQPRQRP, where X is the length of longest common subsequence between A and B. That means X is the length, the maximum length, and Y be the number of such longest common subsequence. So X is length, Y is number of subsequence. That means how many subsequence are possible of maximum length. So here how you can solve it? Let's see. So here first of all we need to find out the maximum length, right? So the length for A, the length of A is 5. First of all I am mentioning the length of A and B. The length of B is 7. So first we will check for 5 because minimum of A comma B is 5. So first we will be checking that is there any possibility that I am getting the longest common subsequence as 5. So for 5 this completely has to be present in the B, but you can see that QPQRR is not available in this B. That means the length 5 is not possible, and if length 5 is not possible, we will be checking for 5 minus 1, that is 4. So now we will be checking for 4. That means if there is any possibility that I am getting the longest common subsequence of length 4. So you can see that start with this Q. So I will be getting QPRR. See, QPRR is one possibility because QPRR is here also. Similarly, if you check QPQR is also one possibility. QPQR, you can see that QPQR is one possibility, right? And let me check, is there any other possibility? See, PQRR. PQRR is also one possibility. So there are 3 such sequence of length 4. You can try, you will not be finding more than 3 sequence of length 4. So what it says that X be the length of longest common subsequence between A and B. That means what is the longest length? 4. That means X is equals to 4. And Y be the number of such sequence. So how many sequences are there? 3. That means Y is equal to 3. Then you have to simply put the value of X and Y in X plus 10Y. So you will be getting 4 plus 30, which is nothing but 34. So the answer for this particular question will be 34, right? So the answer is 34, right? So this was a numerical data type question where you have to answer the question using the mouse, right? Next question is, this question came in 2019. This is nothing but the definition of longest common subsequence. You read it once, it is just the definition. They gave you a reconciliation with some blanks like this expression 1 and this expression 2, and they are asking that among these 4 options what is the exact expression for expression 1 or for expression 2. So we have to find out. See, if I is equal to 0 and j is equal to, we return 0, this is true. But if they both are 1, what we return in LCS? We return 1 plus LCS of m minus 1 comma n minus 1. So if they are same, so check whether is there any particular expression which is equal to this. So you can see that this expression 1 is not equal to this, because we are subtracting 1 from I only, we are not subtracting 1 from j, so this is not an answer. Similarly, if you check for the b, this is also clearly not an answer, because we are not retrieving the number and we are not subtracting from the both sides. Now the next thing is, let's check for the expression number 2, and we know that what is the expression, that we have to check the maximum of LCS m minus 1 comma n and LCS of m comma n minus 1. This is what I told you in the previous video. So check that. So you can see that this expression C, maximum of L is LCS I minus 1 and J L I comma j minus 1. That means we are taking out the both possibility. That means once I am subtracting an element from I, and in the second I am subtracting the element from j, and then we are finding what is the maximum value out of those. So this is seems to be the correct option as of now, but let's check for this last option also. So here it says that the expression 2 is equal to maximum of I minus 1 comma j minus 1 and I comma j. So this is clearly not a right one, because they are subtracting or deleting the element from both the side in one go only. So this is not the right option. So if you compare this, the option C seems to be correct. So this is just a definition. This question seems to be quite lengthy, but answer is very simple. So these are the previous year GATE questions and previous year UGC-NET questions, which can be easily answered if you have watched the previous video. So if you found this particular video useful, like this video, share it with your friends, comment your feedback in the comment box, and in case if you are having any query related to this particular subject or any other subject, so if you have any doubt related to the preparation strategy, you can just go to the description. There will be some links of my Facebook page and Facebook group. You can directly join my Facebook group and page, and you can post your queries on those pages and group, and I will be directly answering your queries, right? So practice more such questions, and in case if you are having any query, post it there. I will be solving your query over there also, right? So if you have not subscribed this particular channel, subscribe it now and press the notification of the bell icon, so that you can get an update whenever I am uploading any new video. So thank you very much for watching. Keep supporting, keep learning. Have a great day.